And welcome to another comparison video. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Sony PSP versus the Nintendo DS. My PSP is an original 1003 fat model in white, and my DS is a DS Lite in silver. Both the PSP and the DS were both launched in 2004, and I know my DS isn't an original model, but the original and the DS Lite had exactly the same hardware, so it should be a fair comparison. I'm going to be taking a look at running GTA Chinatown Wars on both systems. I've got one for the DS and one for the PSP. So let's get started with the DS. Being cartridge based, the DS has the advantage of being very fast to load. So my touch screen isn't as sensitive as it used to be. But anyway, we'll be looking at graphics and gameplay. On the top screen is the screen that you see where you're walking around. That's what you're doing. And the bottom screen we have, it's your map, it's your weapon, your messages, that sort of thing. So let's first of all let's have a look at graphics. So we'll get in the car. And it plays very smoothly. It's very fast. You get quite a good sense of speed when you're driving around. It's one of the few DS games that I actually really enjoyed. As you can see, you get a true sense of speed once you get going. You can really get on with it. But the graphics are good for the DS. I mean, the DS is always an underdog when it comes to processing power, etc. But you can see they're quite clunky and chunky. If I bring that up closer, you can just see they're not the most amazing of graphics, but it does well doing its 3D rendering on such a limited device. So that is it on the DS. As you can see, it was quick. It loaded very quickly, and gameplay was pretty good. So we'll now try it in the PSP. There we go. So as with most PSP games, it's a little while before it picks up, and then you've got to wait for it to load. Now, as fantastic as the PSP is, it is one of its biggest downfalls. Mine's the original, it's the 1003 model. This came with 32 megs of RAM. And to overcome some of the slow loading problems, when they released the 2000 and the 3000 models, they upped that to 64 meg of RAM. But being disc based, it still had poor-ish loading speeds, especially compared to something like the cartridge-based DS. And so we're just going to try and skip through these intros. I haven't had a PSP for a while. I had one about 7 or 8 years ago, and then I got rid of it and regret getting rid of it. And I picked one up recently, and instantly remembered such poor loading speeds. But then you do get a massive difference in gaming experience, in gameplay. Like I said, the DS it's fairly child orientated. You have your Marios and that sort of thing. But the PSP really was a portable PlayStation 2. And the gaming experience is completely different. But in comparison to the DS, which loaded within seconds, the PSP takes a very long while to load. You can hear the disc whirring away. And here we go. Right, we're now into the gameplay. Have to get through this silly little intro bit. You control yourself with the little analog stick, and then the 4 buttons are pretty much the same as the DS. Up here for controls. So as you can see, the graphics are a hell of a lot smoother. The textures, if you look at some of these up here, the background is far more detailed. There's a lot more shadowing. Everything's a lot more crisp. You get a real sense that it is more like a traditional, I say traditional, but more like the newer Grand Theft Autos, just from a higher angle. The graphics are so much smoother. The detailing on the cars, especially that police car there with its sirens flashing away, it's superb. Right, if I can get some clearance and get some speed up, then I can give you a comparison in gaming speed. I'll bring that a bit closer. So you see, the only thing that I would say is I think that the DS just seems to run a bit faster. You get more sense of speed out of the DS. The car seems to just, I don't know, it does just seem to drive a little quicker. But graphically, the PSP is far more advanced. You just get the whole, you've got the lights on there, the textures. Oh, I just lost my light. And I think actually using the analog stick, it's a lot easier to control than the D-pad on the DS. The whole gaming experience, although it does seem a little slower, is far more enjoyable on the PSP. It's just let down by very slow loading speeds. And then so there you have it. That's a comparison of Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars on both the Nintendo DS and the Sony PSP. A great game on both consoles. DS has the merits of loading very quickly, but the PSP wins on graphics and looks, and I think gameplay overall. So I hope that was good for you, and enjoy.